Hello, everyone. Welcome to Beyond Life Paranormal Podcast. I'm your host, Russell Reynolds, and we got a good show tonight. We got some great guests that are coming on. But before we introduce them and bring them on, we got to plug in an event real quick. We're going to talk about the Rock Island Roadhouse Historic Expo. All things are starting October 3rd, that Friday night, where you can sit around the campfire, talk about spirits, squatches, stories around the campfire with C5, Grizzly Chris, and several others. So be sure to check that out. Also, Devils on the Run tour will be there. Annabelle will be there as well as Nesper and the rest of the guys. So if you're getting your tickets, be sure to get them soon for the Warrens Occult Museum if you want to see these artifacts. There'll be several vendors there, readers, all kinds of stuff, something for everybody. So come on out and have fun. We will also be there. We are down in the basement with Nesper and several of our other friends. So be sure to come on out and check it out on October 4th and get a picture with us. Stop by our booth, say hello, talk to us about the podcast, residential that we do, several other places that we do. So we hope to see you all there on October 4th. And without further ado, we are going to bring our guests on. We have two great guests, Regina from PPF Investigations and Lee from Medic for Paranormal. They are coming on to talk to us tonight a little bit about what they do. So without further ado, we're going to bring them on. Hey guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, Russell. Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you guys got started in the paranormal.
Go ahead, please.
Growing up, I think I fall in the same category as a lot of people. I grew up on, I thought it was a haunted house at the time, but now looking back on it, I think it was haunted land because there was like a whole row of hauntings along the street that I lived on. Never really understood it, but I remember everything that happened throughout the years. So as I was, as an adult, I became a EMT, and I met my former partner that I used to investigate with. She had been investigating her, and I got to talking, and we held actually a paranormal investigation at our ambulance service. And the story behind that was there was an ambulance that was parked in there for over a year that was involved in a car wreck, and the paramedic and the patient died in that crash, but the ambulance was held there. So we thought we would go ahead and try to hold a little investigation. We didn't really get a lot of activity out of that, but after that, I was hooked, and that's when I started, exploring the paranormal a little bit more. I started exploring myself. Come to realize that I'm an empath. I have very strong empathic abilities, and then I met Regina. And once I met Regina, it's like all those abilities just exploded. They just amplified. She's like my guiding light, and I'm very proud and thank God that I actually get to investigate with her.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Well, it's true. You complete me.
Oh, thanks. You done?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
I didn't want
Yeah, the curtain down. So sorry.
As for me, I have always seen things and heard things as a young child. Was able to sense things. Didn't quite know what it was until I became an adult, and realized that I am an empath as well. Um, but my journey didn't start till about 14 years ago. Well, actually, now it's been 15 years ago. My sister committed suicide, and she started coming to me in dreams. And it was so amazing and it was so real that I decided that I wanted to explore this. I wanted to explore what happens on the other side. So my best friend and I went to the Stanley Hotel in Estes, Colorado, and did our very first ghost hunt with the Ghost Adventures crew way back when, before they got really, really famous and popular. And on that investigation, we were in the Stephen King room where he wrote The Shining, and we got 3 EVPs of the same male voice. The first one said, "Where are they?" The second one said Nikki, and the third one said Nikki's death. And my sister's name was Nikki. So I knew it was a message for me. I knew it couldn't have been for anybody else. And I decided at that moment that I would explore this different realm of the spirit world and realize that there's more to it than just physical body. We have a soul, we have a spirit, however you want to put it, and it does go somewhere. We don't know where because none of us are, experts in this field. And I wanted to explore more of that option. So 3 years after my sister passed away, my dad passed away of lung cancer, and he started visiting me as well. So my journey is a family journey. So when I go out on investigations, I really try to show, especially with people who haven't investigated before, that there is a light, happy, loving side to paranormal investigating. It's all not just all what we see on TV and movies.
Are you done?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you there. There is a happy medium side to paranormal investigating. Not just all angry spirits all the time.
Right. Well, what a lot of people don't realize or don't think about it when they think about a ghost is, you know, I would say at least 99% of what we come across were human spirits. And if they were grumpy in life, then they're going to be grumpy in spirit. So not everything is demonic and mean and nasty, you know.
Right. I mean, demonic is very rare. I mean, it is there, but it's very rare. You don't deal with it very much. Like maybe 1 out of 100 cases you do that you run across something demonic. A lot of it's like with residential, a lot of it's psychological stuff with a lot of people and past trauma and stuff like
Right.
that.
Right.
But I mean,
I tend not to do private home investigations just for that reason, because I don't want people to think that I can extract something from their house that I know nothing about.
right,
Well, see, whenever I was doing home investigating, I would always, do a disclosure at the start. I would let them know, we might be able to help and we might not, but we do have a lot of resources. I mean, God forbid we come across something demonic or even dark. I have a very dear friend, personal friend, Father Casey. He's a demonologist as well. And, every case that I used to do as on a home investigation, I would run it by him. And he would either say, yeah, that's nothing, or hey, come get some holy water. He looked after me, and he still does, as a matter of fact. I mean, still contact with him, but I've never met him in person. That's what's amazing about it. But I've had this very special bond with him, just like I did with Regina there.
mm,
But
yeah, and
we've
it's always good.
But
Like,
Regina, what you were saying, just taking precaution on that. I mean, it's always a good idea, but it felt good to actually help some of these people as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to help anybody that I can, but I don't want the expectation is I'm going to be able to remove it. And one of the main reasons we don't do home investigations is because we're an all-female team, and I don't want to put my team and myself in a situation that is not safe for us.
right, yeah. I mean, it is Larry like us. We have forms that our clients fill out, and
Mm-hmm.
that protects us, protects them.
Mhm.
Confidentiality agreements they fill out as well. So, but yeah, residential is not for everybody. I mean, it's a lot of different energies you got to deal with and stuff like that.
Right.
But at the same time, though, I actually enjoyed the kind of the unknown as well. I mean, it's kind of like going into an investigation without doing any kind of history work or anything like that. You want to learn it as you go, and home investigations a lot of times is untapped territory. I mean, I've done homes to where, I told the family, I told them, I said, we might want to have to go further. Then there's been other things. And I will never tell anybody that the home is not haunted, because you know what? They're having some kind of an experience. But I always shoot straight with them. I would always let them know, what I felt and what I could do or what I couldn't do. But I never did lead them astray. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Russell, I can't hear you at all.
I couldn't either.
How about now?
Yes.
Yeah, somebody said I'm echoing pretty bad. But yeah, I mean, residential is it's a lot different. I mean, we've dealt with people diagnosed schizophrenic, alcohol issues, violence.
Which I'm not saying that, the house isn't haunted, but I think when you have those types of things that you're doing to yourself, you leave yourself more open to allowing things to come in.
Right. And that's too with your darker stuff. When you have that past trauma too, you tend to bring in the darker because you're feeding a lot of negative energy and stuff like that.
Right.
So, what are some of the bigger places you guys have investigated?
Well, go ahead, Regina. You got me on this one.
Well, like we were talking about before the show started, Waverly Hills. Been to a lot of places in Tennessee just because that's where we're located. Lee and I, a couple of years ago, went out to the Washoe Club in Nevada.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been all over the United States, Pennhurst. You know, I've been doing this for 14 years, so I've been to a lot of investigations.
I'm still getting there. I'm still trying to play catch up, but I don't think I'll ever be able to catch her. We've done a lot of places in Tennessee here, kind of snuck onto some battlefields here. We've done several events at the Thomas House Hotel.
Okay.
Which has been pretty interesting. Help me out, Regina. Where?
We went to Brushy Mountain.
Oh yeah, Brushy Mountain. That one's pretty cool, Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about there. I've never been there yet, but it's on my list of places to go.
Oh, you got to let us know when you go, though. We'll come out there and visit. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. We have talked to Brushy Mountain out here in State. The assassinated.
You kind of went all robotic on there. I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
One that assassinated Martin Luther King was housed out here in Missouri State. He escaped from here and made it out there and assassinated Martin Luther King, and they caught him in Tennessee and put him in Brushy Mountain.
Yep.
Yeah, he actually tried to escape from Brushy Mountain, got up into the mountains, and then they found him, and he's like, "Take me back to prison. I can't do these mountains."
Right. There's some weird. It's a weird vibe in those mountains. Like, what was it? Lee, we were standing out there just taking a break, and we heard some weird. I don't know. Maybe it could have been a Sasquatch noise.
It was something on top of the mountain that was like screaming down at us. I mean, that's what it was.
It was really weird.
But all throughout the Appalachians, you hear that kind of stuff. But whenever you kind of see it and you hear it yourself, it's a lot different.
Right. Right.
We had a question for you. ESU Eden asked, "Has anyone checked the house for weird conditions like carbon monoxide, etc.?"
I mean, we do EVP sweeps, but again, I don't do home investigations. Like when we go out and do regular investigations, we do sweeps. So Lee probably could answer that question better than I could.
Now, I mean, I haven't really, looked for like carbon monoxide, but we do look for things such as a gas heated heater, for example. We do look for anything that could actually interfere with our equipment. We've had to unplug Wi-Fi's before just because they would interfere, for example. But now, if something does have something that could put off carbon monoxide, yeah, we do take that into consideration. But as far as checking it, no. But that's a really good idea, a really good policy. I think I'm actually going to invest into that.
Yeah, I mean, we do that too. And then, like my dad and I, we both have electrical and construction and plumbing background, so that works real well for residential cases. Bunking, a lot of activity.
Now, before any kind of home sweep or anything, yeah, we'll go through it and we will look for any kind of baseline levels. That way we got something to compare it to.
We had another question for you. Damien asked, "Do you believe in ancestral hauntings where someone in the past did something and it follows the bloodline?"
I think it's possible. I haven't come across it.
I mean, I think it's 100%. I mean, you get a big family like an old plantation down here or something like that. The bloodline can go back 200 to 300 years, and I absolutely believe that it can follow a bloodline.
Uh, yes, you said the show Heller is devoted to the dark weirdness in the Appalachians.
Wow, I got to check that out because that's always fascinated me, the Appalachians.
I've always wanted to go Bigfoot hunting, but just never have. I hadn't had any friends that were ever interested in going.
Yeah, that's an interesting field to get into. I got a buddy out here in Missouri, Carter Burchart, who does it, and he was one of the consultants on the show Finding Bigfoot when they did Kansas and Missouri. He's got more than 10,000 reports published
Wow.
in the state of Missouri for Bigfoot sightings.
Right.
And now he's getting dog man sightings in Missouri here.
Interesting.
So we're supposed to go out with him on several because I want to try to. I've got an SLS camera. I want to see if I can capture a Bigfoot on the SLS.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
And
I built my SLS and I love that thing. It's heavy as hell, but I love it.
That's the problem. It's so heavy.
yeah, mine's heavy too. It starts messing with your hand. It's only got that little tripod, and you're trying to
Yeah.
hang out this big heavy thing out there. It starts getting to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I love mine. Mine's got the 2D, 3D, and it does night vision.
Nice.
I've got 2D and 3D, but I don't think mine does night vision. If it has, I haven't figured it out yet.
Yep, mine does night vision as well, and it also records audio too.
Yeah, mine does record. It's a faint audio, but I mean, a lot of times where I have trouble is actually getting it transferred from the program itself onto another file. That's where I have trouble. So
Yeah, I've got like a mini SD card I transfer mine to, and I just pull it out. And I've got what they call a Paranormalist camera that actually debunks your orbs.
oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
One side's night vision, the other side's full spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got a traditional orb, it should pass through the ultraviolet light.
That's awesome right there.
And it also records audio as well.
Nice.
And we use a lot of KD Stafford boxes too, Supernatural Inc.
So Russell, I mean, have you investigated anywhere in Tennessee that we might have heard of?
No, but we did have an invite to go out to your shrine out there in Tennessee. We're going next year.
Oh, that'd be pretty awesome.
I mean, the bigger ones are obviously Brushy Mountain, Old South Pittsburgh,
Yep.
Sherman Hospital. Hales Barn Dam used to be a big one, but they don't allow them anymore. We, based out of the Nashville area, have a lot of access to, Civil War battlefields. So we're lucky that way that there are areas that we can go to that
Right.
have had, mass amounts of death on them.
Well, you got the Civil War battlefield. You got the Trail of Tears that come through here. I mean, it's a never-ending, blood-soaked, countryside here.
We did a residential investigation on the Trail of Tears in Oklahoma. They were the only white people that still owned property on the Trail of Tears that the Native Americans hadn't bought.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Did you get any activity out there?
Yeah, this guy was actually doing demonic worshiping at his home.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
And he had a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old in the home and a 19-year-old. His mom called us in because she was concerned for her grandkids. He actually summoned up a demonic entity in his home.
Oh, wow.
And that was a pretty bad case. I actually got scratched on that case.
Wow.
My dad and I went out. We were the only two that could make it. An emergency, short notice, and so I was investigating solo, but I stay in camera view so my dad could see me at all times. And so I stopped, take a break, and it's about 1:00 in the morning. Our DVR camera's sitting there just pulsating, like static. we're wondering what's going on. Then it starts getting worse, worse, and then this black tall figure appears in the hallway. And I said to my dad, I said, keep an eye on it. I'm going to go check it out. I go back there in the hallway, and you can immediately just feel that heaviness and pressure on you. This thing looked at me, dropped down to 5 feet, ran up my legs, disappeared, and I'm hanging onto my blessed metal, and then 3 scratches right down my arm.
Mm.
And it warned us. It was basically warning me, like, hey, you keep poking the bear, you're going to get hurt. But
Right.
I stuck with it for the family, and the guy the guy ended up reverting back to his old ways. He didn't want to follow any instructions. He didn't want to do holy water, nothing. And that case actually had a bad ending. I basically told the family, girlfriend and mother, to get those kids out of that house.
Wow.
And the girlfriend and him were traveling down the road, and he just snapped and tried strangling her while he was driving. She dove out of a moving vehicle, 70
Mm.
miles an hour.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, my friend I was telling you about, he's dealt with a few cases that did not have a good ending. But
We had another question. What's the Trail of Tears?
well, it's pretty much whenever the Cherokee Indians were pushed off their land from TVA, and they were forced to move west, and a lot of people died. A lot of people did not make the journey, but that's what I was raised to believe is the Trail of Tears.
Yep.
I actually have been a paranormal tour guide at the oldest opera house in the South in Pulaski, Tennessee, that is on the Trail of Tears as well. And we had a lot of activity there because it's on the Trail of Tears, but Pulaski is also the home of the KKK. So we have,
It's got a dark history.
yeah, has a lot of dark history. So
Missouri's got it too. Mexico, Missouri has got its share of KKK because that was a very black town, and they had a lot of history with KKK down there.
mhm.
Moved from Georgia, etc., to Oklahoma. Yep.
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
'Cause my grandma was actually born on a reservation in Oklahoma, the Comanche Reservation.
Not cool.
She's full-blooded Comanche.
Wow.
And let's talk a little bit about your TV show, that video that you sent me.
We filmed a pilot episode for a new type of paranormal TV show that we are in the works of raising money to film a whole first season. It is called The Other's Side. It's a different type of paranormal TV show than what is on TV right now. It airs on Paraflix, and the episode is also on Amazon. Sorry, I can't say Amazon. It is on Prime.
Yeah.
So Paraflix is a paid streaming channel, and Prime there is I think it's a $1.99 rental fee. Anyway, the concept of the show is there's lots of different types of people that speak to spirit. Shamans, tarot card readers, mediums, Wiccan witches. And we have gathered this cast of people who all can speak to spirit in different ways, along with us that are paranormal investigators. Because the concept that we created that I actually had come up with is like, why aren't we all working together towards the same goal? We're all talking
Right.
to spirits. Why are we not using these different methods to connect with spirits? So that's what the premise of the show is. We have a bone reader on staff, on cast now. We have a hoodoo reader, and we're building the cast as we go. Because we don't know who or what these spirits are going to connect to. Plus, we're kind of using them as a beacon. We as paranormal investigators rely on our equipment and our senses. These people rely on different things to speak with spirit. So we're trying to see what they pick up versus what we get with our equipment and evidence.
Oh, nice. That sounds like a pretty good show. I know you had sent me a clip, and we'll go ahead and play that to show the viewers.
Where are you?
Are you afraid to cross over?
That's not a human spirit.
I still say he's got followers.
Yeah, that's saying get out.
Isolation, addiction.
I just got a bad feeling about letting whatever that is out.
Were you ever a being of the light?
Have you seen Chris?
Just the energy of pain
Yes.
and anguish.
It's like it's almost hard to breathe.
Hey, I need to get out of here.
I'm giving you a warning not to go back down there.
I'm set now.
Okay.
Felt like every door that you passed, there was something going to reach out and grab you.
I'm scared.
I say no.
But we're here to get answers.
I still get chills every time I see it.
I know, right?
It just takes you back there, you know?
It does. It does. So that was filmed at the Missouri State Penitentiary. It was filmed, 2 years ago, Lee?
About 2 years ago in September, the heat of September.
Oh, God. It was so hot.
Oh yeah.
Even, we were up filming at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was still like Dante's Inferno. It was so hot.
I swear it was hotter at night than it was in the day.
I felt like that too. I did. So
You probably had to deal with the wall sweating too, like we did when we were just there over the summer here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, anybody that's been in the Midwest in August and September, they understand that.
Yep.
But that place, that has a whole life force on its own, just the whole entire place, not any one particular place. You heard me say on there at one point, it felt like something was going to reach out and grab you. I mean, I cannot think of any other way to put that, because it's like every corner you turn, there's eyes on you.
Oh yeah, I agree. And I know I've walked out of there twice where it looked like someone had taken a cigarette and burned my arm.
No, I don't think we had anything like that, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me a bit if it did. But the show, like Regina says, it's on Prime and it's also on Paraflix. It's really, I mean, that was a genius idea that came out of her head. I mean, it really did. After investigating for so long, it just made me realize she's right. Everybody is trying to accomplish the same goal, but they go about it so differently. And it opened my eyes. That whole weekend opened my eyes. As a paranormal investigator, if I feel threatened, I'm breaking up my sage. For example, just as an example. But we had one she was a tarot card reader, Regina.
which
It was Scarlet.
Scarlet, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we were fixing to go investigate Death Row, and I'm all excited. I'm like, "Yay, Death Row! We're gonna get something in here." Well, she walked in burning sage, and I'm like, "This is not gonna go well." But after conversations about that, I mean, like I said, we just found a happy medium, a medium ground.
Mhm.
But like I said, it's just a genius idea that came out of Regina's head.
Well, and again, it's, they pick up on different things than we pick up on. And all these paranormal TV shows, yes, they use mediums. Yes, they may visit a location and they bring in a shaman. We're using all these people in coordination together.
Right.
And if anybody has any kind of instincts or any kind of way to feel things like we do as empaths, when you bring those types of people together, it just amplifies it. I mean, you can feel it in your core. Just like when Lee and I investigate together, we feed so much off of each other that when we were at Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary, I said to him, we walked into a row of cells, a big housing unit, and I said, "Where are you drawn?" And I closed my eyes and I pointed and I opened my eyes, and we both were pointing at the same location, the same cell. So by using these group of people who have a bit of abilities, if I get my tongue to work with my mouth, just amplifies it. So why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we all working together to try to get answers from the other side using different methods of communication?
It really is. And whenever you find somebody, special that you have that connection with, and I found mine, like I said, it's Regina. It's like I'm the left half of the brain and she's the right half. And when you put it both together, I mean, there ain't nothing that we can't do. Like she was saying, at Brushy Mountain, where he would focus right on the same area. And we could say that all day long, but, we had about, I don't know, a dozen witnesses, and they're all like, jaw dropping at just how much that we have become in sync on it, and I don't think that I've ever been on an investigation with Regina where we haven't captured something.
Right.
Because I think that with us having abilities, I keep wanting to say availability, abilities, I truly believe we are more beacons. We are more like, can they see us? Can they hear us more? Because we're just beacons to them because we're more open. And when you again add a whole bunch of people who are quote unquote beacons, are you going to get more activity?
Right. Yeah, my lead investigator, Jen, and I are like that. We've got that good connection. We work off of each other when we investigate.
So you know exactly what we're talking about with that. I mean, it's like it's hard to find words to describe just how it comes together.
Right.
Even my dad, same way. Him and I work together, and we're coincided with each other that we know what each other's doing and how each other thinks when it comes to that.
Right. Right. So that's the premise of the show, and we'd love for you and all your viewers to go out and watch it. We only have one episode because, again, it does cost a lot of money to produce a TV show.
But it's a good episode. It really is.
It really is.
Especially Missouri State. I mean, I love that place.
Oh, absolutely.
So we are always wanting people to watch it, enjoy it, give us their feedback. We're again trying to raise money, looking for investors to help us try to film a full first season. So if anybody has any connections, we'd love to chat, because we think it's important. It's not about the fame. It's not about anybody on here getting famous. It's about telling the story and telling it in different ways, and prove that there is an afterlife. So.
And it's a lot of it's learning from each other. Like she was saying, a lot of people from different mediums. One thing that did amaze me, Regina, is, I mean, I'm not going to give anything away as far as the show, but, everybody focused in like on a couple of areas of that place. Everybody just focused in using their own medium, their own strategy. They just focus in on, anyway, that's it. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I
know what I'm trying to say, but I'm having trouble getting it to come out.
Right. We have a question from Paul Eden. When doing things like that, does your personal work on your own fears and personal baggage help in confronting the phenomenons you encounter?
I think yes, because well, at least I can say yes, because I've been in locations that have had suicides. And I can relate to that because my sister committed suicide. And I know what it feels like to be left behind. And I know the struggles that she had because she was diagnosed with bipolar. So yes, I definitely believe that your personal experiences, life experiences, baggage that you carry can help in an investigation.
Yeah, but they could also hinder. I'm actually coming back off of about a year-long hiatus. Last year, I was diagnosed with cancer. And after 2 rounds of chemo, of radiation, 2 surgeries, I just found out this week I'm in remission. So I'm beating it. But it's like I talked to Regina for this past year. I'm not going to go into a place that puts me vulnerable, at this juncture. Right. But now, since I've beaten it, I feel like I could do anything. So I'm ready to get back in the trenches, and can't wait.
Yeah. And that's another thing too that Lee and I connect on. We both are cancer survivors.
Yeah.
And, and he's been on this journey, and I'm so thankful that you are in remission, and we're going to get back out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know what you're going through. I lost my mom in 2018 to cancer. So.
I mean, I did not realize, they call it a battle for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Yeah,
And
ready to get back out there. So, but to answer his question though, I'm kind of honestly, excited now to get back out there. I want to see if the senses are heightened anymore because of it, or what. I mean, I work as a paramedic also, in my primary job, working around a lot of death and trauma. It seems like every time that I work on something on the ambulance that's actually very traumatic or something some people would, consider hard to watch or anything. I don't know. It changes you, and it changes you as an investigator and as a person.
yep.
Yeah.
Damien had asked, "What's been the most extreme method you have seen anyone use?"
Hmm. I mean, I'm not big on provoking.
Provocation.
Thank you, God. So
See, we
I mean,
work off each other.
I know, I see a lot of people use that, and I just
Yeah,
don't
I
agree. I don't agree with
don't
it.
either.
I've seen, people are, say, "Oh, attack me! Oh, scratch me! Oh, enter my body!"
No,
And I'm like, "No, no, you do not want to do that. That's you don't want to invite it in."
no.
That to me is extreme, and I would never ever do it or suggest anybody does it.
Yeah,
About
I don't.
the worst that I've done is offer my energy to try to get a response, and if you offer it, they'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
They'll
Sure.
take it.
Especially if you're going in a place blindfolded, and you don't know if there's something darker there, and you start opening yourself up and inviting something, you're gonna bring
It
something
will
with
come through. Yes.
And that's
that.
one of the things that a lot of people don't understand, that, want to go ghost hunting. They're interested in it. And the best advice that I can give somebody is, if you open a door, make sure when you're done, close it. Because a lot of people, put all their equipment out and do all the things that they think they're going to do to get a ghost. And if you don't say those prayers before, and if you don't close those doors and tell them to stay where they are, and you're not allowed to follow me home, if you don't close that door, I mean, you're opening yourself up to having anything follow you home. And
And it
I
will.
take precautions, and I've had things follow me home.
Same.
Same here.
Same.
Lee and I had an experience recently where was it last year or the
It
year
was
before?
last year, about a
Yeah,
month before my cancer.
we went to the Bell Witch Cave, which I had been before investigating, but we hadn't been together, and we were co-hosting an event there, and him and I were in the cave all night long. And we definitely, Lee said something came home with him, and I'll let him tell that story. We both were sick after we were the investigation, so definitely take precautions to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Damien said, "Congratulations on cancer. He beat it in 2012."
Damien, that's awesome. Congratulations to you as well. I love hearing that.
For
Very
sure.
much congratulations.
And then ESU said, "No investigation of haunted reactors, then joke."
No, but if I found one, I probably would. But
I
I'm
mean,
just
what's
that
that
crazy.
place, Canobo, somewhere over in
Oh, Chernobyl?
Yes. Yep.
I mean, Josh Gates went there and did it.
Yeah, I mean,
I would love to see it.
I'd go and do it.
Yeah.
I'd definitely go out there and check it out.
Yep.
That would be an awesome place to check out. I know they say you do hear the residual voices and everything out there.
Mhm.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, how much more traumatic can you get? I mean, I'm not talking, one or two people. I mean, that's like a whole landmass.
Yeah, and they lost one too that didn't want to leave. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
ESU Eden said, "Yes, thank you to the spirits for their pleasant hospitality."
Yes.
Very much.
We do. We always, at least I do. I always say, thank you. When I leave a room, I say thank you. They were human spirits. They were people. Like, treat them with respect.
And that's what a lot of people forget. I mean, they were, like she said, human. They're still human. There's people. They're just in a different energy. As a paramedic, I do believe that they are definitely energy because if somebody has a heart attack, what are you going to give them? You're going to shock their heart. It's energy. It's electricity. Yep. I think it just transforms. I mean, like I said, as a paramedic, that's what I believe.
Right, and that's like a lot of people don't realize our bodies are a natural EMF field. We give off a faint EMF field.
Yeah.
Yep.
because of our spinal and our brain waves.
Hmm. Exactly. And I mean, that doesn't stop when we die. It just transforms. I mean, it continues on.
Right.
Yep, exactly. And I tell people, even with residentials too, a lot of times it's a former owner that owned the house.
Hmm.
When you're moving into that house, to them, you're trespassing. You start changing their space, and what are you going to do when somebody breaks in your house? You're going to want to hurt them,
You're going to defend it.
property, and that's basically what they do to get aggressive and start throwing things and scratching you, hitting you.
Well,
They're
plus,
going to make themselves known. Sorry.
right. Plus, we don't know what they are thinking. Do they even know that they're
Yep.
dead?
Yeah, a lot of them don't even realize that. A lot of them are still waiting for a family member, or they're just trapped.
Hmm.
Yep.
And you get the thrill seekers that want to go in there, and then they stir it all up and turn around and walk out, and then the client's there holding the bag.
Yeah, exactly. Um, I wanted to just kind of emphasize something Regina said about closing doors. I cannot stress how important that is. Regina, I really wish that night at the Bell Witch Cave we'd have done that more, but we didn't.
I mean, I didn't think that we would have the problems that we had coming out of there, and we vowed we would not go back. I've been there twice, but the first time I didn't have what happened to us the last time. But I think it's because of me and you, the connection, and we really amped it up.
Yeah, and we were stuck in there all night long. The thunderstorm, I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had all that energy kicked up.
Oh, we were trapped in the cave during this massive thunderstorm. After the storm, we went outside, and there was big branches down on the trail, and everything else. I actually had an experience, and I got mad at Regina on this. Um, I went outside during the thunderstorm, and it was like a little overhang right outside the cave. I'm outside, and in front of me, about 3 feet, I kid you not, there was like a ball of smoke, and it came up from the ditch to my right, came up and crossed over in front of me, and then went down to the river. And whenever I saw it, I mean, it was just like it was probably the size of a soccer ball, maybe, but it was definitely that. So I scream in the cave at Regina. When I say scream, I just meant yell really loud. I didn't scream like a girl. But I'm yelling at Regina, come out here, Regina, and it's a cave. I mean, it's echoing. I can hear it echo, and nothing, absolutely nothing. After 2 or 3 times of that, I went into the cave and I walked in there and I said, "What is wrong with you people?" Regina looked at me. She's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I've been yelling at you to come out here." And I said, "Something happened." I said, "I've been yelling at you to come out here." Never heard a word. Never
Didn't
heard
hear
a word.
about it. And the entrance to the cave is probably 200 feet, maybe.
Maybe, but it's all solid by rock. I mean, it's surrounded by rock.
Right.
Yeah, your voice should have echoed right down there to her.
Yeah, it should have.
And it
There was
wasn't just
something
me.
keeping
It wasn't just me in the cave. There was probably about 8 of us in there, and none of us heard him.
No,
None.
and I'm at the door of the cave screaming, "Get out of here!" Because I mean, I'm a little bit nervous after seeing this, whatever it was, cross in front of me. It was there.
Mhm.
So, but I'm like yelling at her. Caught a great video that night. I don't know if anybody knows the story of the Bell Witch. Her name is Kate Batts.
Yep.
Shape shifting into into animals. We caught a great video. Everybody's standing just perfectly dead silent still in there, but behind Regina in this video, you can see a shape shifting shadow go along the wall. I've never seen that before at all.
And shape shifts into what
It
looks
looks like an animal, a 4-legged animal.
Oh wow. She's kind of like a what they call a shapeshifter skinwalker type.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of similarity there.
PSU asked, "What do you think about past life, etc.?"
Oh, I know for a fact I've had several lives, so I definitely believe in it. I'm drawn to certain areas, time eras. So yeah, I definitely believe in past lives.
Agreed. I mean, agreed. And there's a lot of people that in my life now I know, and Regina again is one of them. I keep having to single her out, but I know that I've met her in my past life, and I know she was a significant person there. It's just one of those you feel it so strong that it has to be right.
Damien said, I don't restrict spirits. I'm open 24/7, basically a switchboard for anyone that comes through. Think my methods would scare them, but have you ever met a human Ouija board? I'm currently on the lookout for more like me to bounce ideas and experiences stuff. One thing about Damien's got a Ouija board tattooed on his forearm. So he puts it together and it forms a Ouija board on his arms.
I mean, obviously, we know that there's people that are more open to communication than others. I haven't come across anybody who makes that claim that you're a human Ouija board. Obviously, mediums and people that can speak to spirits, I think, would probably be the closest that I've come
Right.
across.
Same.
Same here. And I mean, even like doing Estes and stuff like that, you are creating that invite. So you
Mhm.
have to set your, it's all about setting intentions, even with a Ouija board, tarot cards, set your intentions.
Right.
They're all doing the same thing. They are all doing the same purpose.
It's
Yep.
all communication. Whether you use a spirit box or you use a Ouija board, it's all communication, and that's why you have to close the door. It's so very important.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I deal with ghosts every night. The school I work at, I'm a night custodian at a school that was built in 1888.
Oh, I'm sure you've seen it then.
Oh yeah, the one I worked at before it was even worse. That one was also highly active. I mean, it would imitate voices of teachers. It would imitate the cooks in the cafeteria. Shut the dim lights off, and you'd hear a whole nother ball game going on in there. Whistles, cheerleaders, audience cheering.
Wow.
And I was there one night and seen this black figure. I was waxing floors, and I seen this one black figure past the gate. I knew I was the only one in the building. Every door is locked. This is 9 o'clock at night. Go running down there. I see the gym door open up, and we just had the gym floor redone, so nobody could walk across it. So I peeked in there looking for footprints. Nothing.
It's
Well,
really kind of ominous when you're in a building by yourself and you hear stuff. I mean, yes, I mean, people are like, don't you get scared? Well, yeah, we get scared. It's obviously something we can't see
Yep.
that's trying to communicate or do things to get our attention. Yeah, it's scary. But yeah, it's a different feeling when you know you're by yourself.
If you look on my TikTok page, I think it's like the first video, the SLS, that's actually taken in that old school that I worked at.
I'll have to check that out.
yeah, definitely.
That school was built in 1909, and about 7
Oh,
o'clock in the morning, I've got a picture of a shadow figure standing on top of the stairs looking down.
well, I mean, something that steeped in history is going to have all kinds of stuff roaming them halls.
Oh yeah, there used to be a school there back in the 1800s, and it actually caught on fire and burnt to the ground. So they rebuilt this one, and the town that it's in is an old military town. It's named after John C. Breckinridge from Kentucky, and so it's seen its share through this town. I mean, they're uptown. They got a picture of a Civil War soldier standing outside of a building.
It's got history for sure.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does.
And the one that I work at now, the old gym, I had 2 coworkers won't go in there after 9 o'clock. If the lights are on, they're staying on. They will not go shut them off. But the funny part of it is with them, I've actually got them into paranormal investigating. We were doing it during the day all summer, and they were fine with it. When it comes nighttime, they will not do it.
Yep. It's a
Well,
whole
I mean,
different feeling at night.
it is, but I mean, I don't think activity has always, restricted the night. I mean, I've had a lot of stuff happen during the day as well.
Right.
What got them going was I had them knocking during the summer, and I asked them to knock how many were here, and it went as far as 21
Wow.
in the old gym, and we're like, what the hell?
I say I love intelligence like that. I do. I love coming across that.
But we'll turn the spirit box on when we're eating dinner and listen to it and listen to what they got to say. And they've told us some pretty interesting things at night.
And see, that's pretty cool. I mean, I've gotten people involved in it with doing the same thing. I was working at an airport hangar up until recently, and one of the pilots that I worked with, he was talking about being in that hangar by himself and stuff like that. Well, I've let him hear some of my EVPs in the past, and he told me, he's like, I'm going to just sit there and I'm going to turn on my voice recorder and I'm going to just start asking questions. I said, do it. I said, 100% do it.
Mm-hmm.
I told him, I said, just be careful. I said, if you start getting a response, I said, be sure you shut it down. You close the door. You tell him it's not welcome home with you. I said, because anything can happen. He will not come to my house now. Because of things that have happened here. And plus I've got this doll in my living room that Regina loves.
Don't.
But anyway, like I said, just close that door. Just close that door. But people do get involved with it. Whenever I started investigating personally, somebody told me, they said, and I even forgot this, they says, just start watching out. You're going to notice a lot more that's around you. They didn't say, you're going to be looking for more. You're going to notice what's there.
Yep.
That is so true.
Yep. The more you do it, the more sensitive you get to it. Like, I've been doing this 31 years, so
Yeah.
When I got there at that place, she was like, "Oh, the old gym's haunted," and the investigator side of me is like, "I'm gonna try to debunk this." The one night I went in there by myself, and it was about 10 o'clock. I was like, "If you are here, knock." I hear a faint knock. I'm like, "You got to do it louder than that for me to believe that was actually you doing it." And then I got a louder knock after that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And I believe you're here now. And then I work on the 3rd floor, and every night at the end of the hallway, you see this shadow figure. I named him the 3rd floor dweller. And he peeks out from around the lockers. He'll look at you and just stand there. One night, I started walking towards him, and as fast as before I even got down there, he was gone.
And that's something right there that I believe, and I'd like to know what everybody else thinks about this. I believe a lot of these spirits just want to be acknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
Like Regina said, do they know that they're dead or not? But they just want to be like, I'm here. They're sitting there waving their hands, and and nobody has any idea unless you're actually looking for it.
Right.
And that's like a lot of people think because they get hit or they get scratched that, oh, it's something bad. A lot of times that may be the only thing they can do.
Yeah,
They have enough
exactly.
energy to do is hit you or scratch you. Just say, "Hey, I'm here. I'm trying to get your attention."
Mm-hmm. I think the longer that you do paranormal investigating, the more you can walk into a location and be like, yep, I can feel it.
Yep.
Well, that's definitely a strong suit right there.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely feel if something's there, especially if it's bad or not.
For my dad and I, even with residentials, we can walk in a house. You can feel the difference between a non-human and a human spirit.
100%.
And we already know what's there when we get there.
Yeah.
And walk in that house. We'll get our clients asking us, "What is it?" I'm not going to tell you until we back it up and verify it.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you a question. I'm just curious. I'm learning about you as well. What are your thoughts on haunted objects?
They can be dangerous. I mean, I've dealt with quite a few of them, and I am related to the Warrens that have the Annabelle dolls. And I've taken some haunted dolls out of a location that were actually, the one is demonically inhabited by something, and it's actually locked up in the Warrens Occult Museum. The other dolls are with, and it actually made a lady's heart palpitate. They were terrorizing a blind woman that could only see certain shapes and shadows and bright lights. And the doll that was causing the heart palpitations was only about this big. Eyes were gouged out of its head, and she called it Little Annabelle. Well, we had them at a Paracon the next day, and we had them out on the table. Well, this paranormal team was across from us. They turned on their equipment, and the one head doll that was really strong, she was coming across their equipment saying he lied, murder him, kill him with a shovel, hit him. She come over to tell us, and she ended up having to back away because that little doll was making her heart flutter.
Wow.
And we were on the haunted object panel because of our ties with the Warrens, and he had that one doll downstairs. They were doing a double Estes with her, and she called an investigator by her original name that had been changed 16 years ago.
Wow.
Turned the whole room black. I mean, it just went pitch dark. And they kept saying, "Take me back." And, like, "No, I'm not taking you back." And it kept calling my name several times as well. And then the other dolls, they would turn their heads, they ran at cameras. And I was like, they're going to the Warren's Occult Museum.
Mm.
So they are dangerous. I mean, not all of them are demonic. I mean, there is spirits, but a child spirit, if you follow my cousin Ed Warren's theory on that, a child spirit's not allowed to inhabit a doll. God does not allow it. But
I do believe that.
There's a ghost in his house.
No. Hey. No, just fell over. Just fell over.
What is it?
It's a sword.
Oh.
see, that happens when you start talking about
Scared
that
the
stuff.
shit out of me, though.
I've noticed that quite a bit. If you start talking about that stuff, things start happening. I was actually a guest on a podcast, and we were talking about Annabelle, and he has some haunted dolls, and my mic cut out, his mic cut out, and then he felt something right behind him. So, yeah, it's
Sorry.
common. They've upped their game to electronics. They can manipulate electronics because I've learned from my mentor, Farah, who's actually a demonologist for 40 plus years. I don't know if you ever heard of Sister Farah Rose Deal. Her and her husband, Kenneth. They're out of Springfield, Missouri. They were on the TV show A Haunting. And she even told me when you start exposing them, they start manipulating electronics because they don't want to be exposed.
Well, at the same time, just think about all the energy they're getting out of these electronics as well. It's feeding them.
Yep.
They're surviving because of it.
And your darker stuff, I mean, they know everything about you. They know your name, they know your age, they know your family, what kind of car you drive. So when we get calls to go out, they already know who we are and why we're coming there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And Bishop Rita, who's on the Legion of Exorcists, she told me that anybody that deals with the darker stuff, the devil's got your wanted poster in hell.
I believe that.
Light.
No, you're talking about dolls, and I mean, I've got a doll actually in my living room. Regina's wanting her to come home with her, but she's not getting her.
No, I really don't.
She pretty much just sits there and just kind of watches over us. I mean, I don't think it's anything bad, but she called out to me at an antique store, and I bought her and brought her home.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of them too, they'll disguise themselves. I mean, I got a haunted mask that's actually in John Zaffis' museum right now that got taken out of a home of the movie theater in Marshall, Missouri that we do, which was actually on an episode of Dead Files. She was actually laying in bed, and she woke up to a noise, taking a nap, and there was something trying to climb into her mouth.
Oh, no.
And her granddaughter was laying in bed. She got up because she seen somebody that looked like Grandma going out the front door. Well, Grandma was still laying in her bed. She got a fire department, and the cops called to her house because it looked like smoke coming out of the roof. And that's what this mask was actually causing in her house. And she ended up finding it was shoved in her office between the wall and the safe. And she gave it to me, and I took it to John Zaffis. so he could get it locked away, and then the activity stopped in her home.
Wow.
But her movie theater is extremely haunted.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We got
And
some right here the same way.
that one has several confirmed deaths. A girl was kidnapped about 100 feet from there. There was a hotel across the street that the guy shot his porter, and then he got locked up in a mental institution. He escaped, made it back to his hotel, and when the cops came for him, he shot himself.
Mm.
And there was the guy that died out on the front sidewalk. He was actually killed by the manager of the movie theater because he was messing with his wife. And
Yeah.
we were able to actually prove everything that Amy Allen had picked up in there.
Well, see, that's it right there. You just touched on it. I mean, I wish people would actually stop and think about wherever they're going into. You know, could this place be haunted? Because they would really be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
It's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's even your urban explorers. They're going into these abandoned places. I mean, a lot of them places are haunted. And you're going in there by yourself. You don't know what happened.
Exactly.
You see these videos on YouTube all the time of these urban explorers going in places. And I was watching one the other day. He was in this old abandoned hospital, and he was down in the basement, and this black figure, he was in this room. He pans on it, and it was down, sitting down, and then hands back, and it's standing up,
Mm-hmm.
and then falls down,
Huh.
and he goes running out of there.
Yep.
And I mean, these people, they go in there and they don't know what they're doing, and they're going to find themselves either dead or hurt going in places like that.
Yeah. That's why I don't think people should investigate by themselves. I think there's
No.
too much of a risk.
Yep, always have a buddy system. That's what I tell everybody. Don't be the hero and think you're going to go, oh, I'm going to go in here and do this by myself. And you're going to learn the hard way if you're not experienced enough to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. You will.
Which
Yeah.
we know a certain TV one that does that, likes to do that all the time and challenge it.
Yeah. Challenging. You know, I mean, I'm not a provocator, but you know, I mean, I will try to elicit a response, but that's about it.
I mean, for like the darker stuff, we'll do a little bit of religious provocation just to see what it is, to see if it's actually that or
Save a response to it, right?
or it's just a regular spirit just trying to act it. I've seen malicious spirits do that too. They'll try to act demonic just to scare the homeowner out. But I mean, we've seen upside down crosses getting scratched in the neck, eyes rolling in the back of their head.
I mean, I've seen it just affect different people, Regina. Miss Julia.
That wasn't demonic, though.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But she definitely made herself known.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, regular spirits can take over your body as well too.
Yeah, that's what happened when we were at the Washoe Club. Well, Lee can tell you the story better than I can.
Well, I mean, so we're at the Washoe, and you know, a lot of the ladies of the night, they worked at this location. Well, the one that was over it was Miss Julia. So we walk into what was her office. I was with Regina, and I think Jesse was in there, and Paula was in there. So I started going in, and I started talking to Miss Julia. I'm trying to elicit a response, telling her that I would like to, you know, rent a couple of ladies of the night. Regina turns and she looks at me, and when she looked at me, she was looking through me. I mean, it wasn't Regina. She looked at me and she says, "You are a liar." I said, "I'm sorry." And she said, "You are lying." And she was just getting more and more angry. And I'm sitting here, I'm about to take 2 steps away from her. I really, like I said, it wasn't Regina. It had to have been the Miss Julia. I really pissed her off. So we got Regina out of the room, and then all of a sudden she started coming back around to us at that point.
Okay, yeah, that happens. I've seen that happen before to people.
Let me ask you another question, Don. What do you think about like time slips and things like that?
That's a very interesting subject. In fact, a friend of mine was just telling me about one she had the other day. It took her 50 minutes to get to a location, and when she was driving through, that should have only taken her 15 minutes. Everything was just changed. It looked like cornfields. She was looking for a store. There was no parking lot. It was just all woods and cornfields and rundown houses. And she was right in that area where the store was.
One night I was at Thomas' house. This is before I met Regina. I'll tell you this quick story. My old partner that I used to investigate with, we were at, like I said, Thomas' house. We were there during the week, and there was another family of 3 that were there. And whenever they found out what we're doing there, they're like all excited, wanting to take part and join in, and that's fine. So we're exploring this hotel, and my former, I'll call her Polly. Anyway, she went to the bathroom. Well, she goes downstairs and she goes into the ladies' room and she does her business. And when she comes out, she's said she's looking for us. She's unable to find us at that point. Whenever she left us, we were in the dining area, so we were in the dining room. So anyway, she starts looking around on the first floor of that hotel and unable to find us. She goes upstairs to the rooms, and we're not up there either. She thinks, well, maybe they went across the street to the church. So she said she walked over there to the church, and nothing there. So she comes back to the hotel. She says she don't know what to do. She thought we were playing a joke on her or anything, or something like that. So she climbs into her car and she calls her boyfriend at the time. She's like, I cannot find them. I do not know what they have done or where they have gone. And he's like, just calm down. I'm sure they're there. She said, well, I went upstairs to the room. The bags are there, but they're not there. So she's just like, freaking out. So she goes back into the hotel, goes back into the ladies' room again. She looks in the mirror and she washes her hands and probably her face, and then comes back out again. And then she hears a voice upstairs. Goes back upstairs into what's known as Sarah's room, and there we are investigating. She comes in there and she is screaming at me. She is cussing at me, saying what, that I had scared the hell out of her, basically. And I'm like, whoa, stop. I said, what are you talking about? She's like, I have looked everywhere for you. I have called you. I have texted you. And she showed me her phone, and there was like 4 calls to where she tried to call my phone, 3 different text messages. And I showed her my phone. There wasn't nothing. So there was absolutely nothing. So that was a very interesting experience in its own. She was so mad.
Oh, I bet. I've seen that happen quite a bit, even for us too. Like even at my job, for instance, my coworker will text me and I'll text her back, and my message will never come through.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of it you can just blame on electronics. It's a man-made thing, but when you have multiple,
Yeah.
It's a head scratcher.
And that's like we got a cemetery out here in Missouri that everything shifts. Stones will shift, trees will shift, the fence will shift. They had a team out there that stayed out there for about a week and documenting this, and they did drawings of the cemetery when they got there, and by the next morning it shifted another direction.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And it's in Brunswick, Missouri, and there's a reported hellhounds in that cemetery.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with them hellhounds.
And apparently they guard the entrance of it. We were supposed to go out there, but floodwaters stopped us. We ended up getting floods that year. We were going to go out there and try to check that out and document it and see if it actually happened to us as well. But floodwaters stopped us, so that must have been a sign. I believe that was a sign that nope, you shouldn't be out there.
It very well could be.
No coincidences.
I don't believe in coincidences anymore at all.
I don't either. Everything's a sign when something happens.
Yep.
So we're actually going to be going to investigate a cemetery soon now, Regina, since I'm getting past everything. Werewolf Spring Cemetery is what it's called.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we don't do very many unless we're called for like urban legend stuff.
Well, I mean, it's not like we didn't pick this one out of the phone book. I mean, this one's pretty steeped in history. Years and years ago, supposedly a family that lived close to it completely disappeared off the face of the earth out there. A lot of people think it could have been werewolves. A lot of people think it could have been. I mean, I've heard Wendigo. I mean, I've heard all kinds of stuff out there. But not as far as I know, the legend says they were never found.
Well, you also got those Tennessee feral people out there too that are known out there.
Yeah, that's mostly kind of East Tennessee, I believe, like back up in the Appalachians.
Yeah, that and the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah.
Because we're supposed to come out there and go with our buddy Jimmy from Outlaw Paranormal. We're going to go try to document the feral people out there.
Watch your back is all I'm going to say, just from what I've ever heard out there.
Mm-hmm.
That and then the Tennessee Wild Man. Trying to see if we can find him.
Yeah.
I actually did a podcast episode on the feral people
Really?
of Tennessee. Yeah, you can find it on my YouTube
I was
channel.
going to say, I'm going to have to go back and look at that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I did a whole episode on that. The Tennessee Wild Man, the Wampus Cat.
And we got the White Bluff Screamer.
Yep.
So
that's like here we got the Ozark Howler out here in Missouri.
there was some kind of documented case out there in the Ozarks. I forgot what it was.
We've got that, and then we've got the Momo Monster, our form of Bigfoot, which is actually.
No, what I was thinking of was ufology as a different topic.
And the Momo Monster is supposed to be one of the aggressive Bigfoots. And it's got 3 fingers on each hand and 3 toes on each foot.
I just don't understand Bigfoot hunting myself. I mean, if I come across one, I don't know what I'd do except run.
Carter's got some. He showed me some pictures of what he's got. They'll raid one of his clients' greenhouses. The young ones, juvenile ones, will go in there and they'll eat on the vegetables and they'll indulge themselves, fall asleep in the greenhouse. He's got a picture of where they press their face up against the plastic, looking out.
Wow.
Make it get away. And then he's got a game camera picture with a hand on it.
Wow.
And he led an expedition out there, and the next day he went back in front of the camera on the logs. They counted out how many were in his party.
So that's pretty cool right there. I mean, that's just the kind of thing that makes me want to go back in and look farther into it.
Right.
And he goes down into the Mark Twain National Forest, and there's a cemetery out in the middle there that had a big cross that probably weighs a good 2,000 pounds. He went out there one night. It was laying on the ground. You can't get a crane back in there because it's so dense now and grown up. He went back the next day, and the cross is standing upright into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Something looking out.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that one night he was out there, he watched one on thermal walking upright like human, and then it turned into an orb and just disappeared.
I believe it.
We actually seen one going to Gettysburg. We were going up in the Allegheny Mountains up there, and it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know if you've ever driven up in the Allegheny.
I have.
You know those steep hills
Yeah.
and turns around there, and there's a house that sits way up in the back in the mountain. It's trash cans. The trash cans were down by the road. Well, my headlights of my car, they're the fluorescent ones, hit this figure squatted down in front of the trash can. And my dad seen it, and I was focused on the road, so I didn't get to see it. And we got past it. He says, "You'll never believe what I just saw." That's the way he said, "I just saw a Bigfoot," and it stood up, and it was about, he said, 7 to 8 feet tall, arms out to here, big wide chest, and it had the trash can lid in its hand, and it curled its lip at him. He could see the teeth and everything.
I believe it. I do.
I do as well.
So I got looking up some history sightings up in that area, and it's prominent Bigfoot sightings up there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of people don't realize that about Pennsylvania, but it's very, yeah.
Oh
The
yeah,
mountains up there are just so unique.
yeah. And I mean, the town I grew up in is the border between Damascus, Pennsylvania, and New York State.
Okay.
So we've got the history of the Catskill Witch, and the Great Spirit turned her into stone, which is now a mountain. And there's a lake, and there's two mounds in the lake of rock. That's the witch's eyes.
Wow.
I remember hearing that story as a kid. My dad used to do construction work in that area over there, and he built several houses on that area. And we used to go fishing in that lake as a kid,
Cool.
and but yeah, Missouri's also got its Bigfoot activity. It's got its paranormal history. We're getting ready to go do a location that's got ties to the outlaw Jesse James and the battle of the river, and it's got an. We're going to check out the old cemetery there. Nobody's been buried in there since the 1800s.
Oh, wow.
And the property out back, a little boy had gone missing back there, and they ended up eventually finding him dead. He was already bones and everything.
Oh, wow.
We're going to go back there and see if we can connect with his spirit to find out what actually happened to him.
Right.
But you can we've investigated there before, and you can be out there all hours of the night and you'll hear gunfire.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a war zone because of the Crooked River, all the residual that went on out there, which is the old Mormon massacre.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And then we've got Hans Mill, which is not too far from where I live, and that you can see on my TikTok. If you look at I think that's the second video where the Mel meter and REM pod's going off. That's at Hans Mill, the Mormon massacre site.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and look at some of that.
Yeah.
And we went on the anniversary of the massacre. The massacre happened on the day before Halloween.
Wow. Yeah. Spooky
And-
season is coming up.
Yeah, we're getting ready for it. We usually do. We'll probably go down there the night before Halloween and investigate.
I'll say that's pretty cool right there, especially at time of year.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I went out during the day. A friend of mine brought me out there. First time I've ever been there. I just moved to Missouri here, and you could smell something dead, like rotting flesh. And we left, went to eat, came back, and it was dark. The smell was gone. We're standing there just getting a feel of the place, listening, and you hear something throwing rocks in the creek from the woods. Shine my light over there, nothing. Take the light off of it, and you hear 3 more get thrown into the water and splash.
Mm-hmm. Making themselves known.
Yep.
And then my EMF detector, there was a big crater in the ground where back in the 70s they drove a truck out there full of dynamite, blew it up. And so I would go down. I brought my EMF detector, went down in the crater. It went all the way to red. Stepped back out of the crater. It go back to green. Go back in. It go to red again.
It's crazy.
And the third time we went out there, we seen this figure peek around behind the tree at us, and it was pretty close. I mean, it was probably about 5 yards from us. A friend of mine, she just started immediately freaking out, and it followed us all the way up to the road to make sure we were leaving.
That I don't doubt. I don't doubt that. They are territorial.
And there was about 17 of them that died down there, men, women, and children, that the militia had killed, and a lot of them that did make it, they started heading to South Missouri down to Lexington. Well, militia was waiting for them there and was picking them off as they were crossing the river. And the two brothers that were running the colonies, they managed to escape, and one ended up in Illinois, and they lynched him there. The other one, I think he went up to like Iowa somewhere, and he laid low for a while, and then he made his way back to Missouri, tried to start another settlement in Lawson, Missouri, and he ended up. That's when the Battle of Crooked River started. They found out he was back. They they killed him there. And Ed says Hans Mill history is interesting. Fran and I have been there a couple of times. I used to work with him. He worked at the school I worked at, and he's actually originally from Montana, so he's told me some stories about Montana.
I can only imagine.
Out there that they fired a rocket into the tower to kill those guys that were trying to escape, caused a riot.
I can only imagine about there.
And then he was telling me about there's that ghost town that's out there that they'll pay you to live in it and do tours of it. There's no electricity, no running water. It's out in the middle of nowhere. It's an old mining town.
Nope.
Well, you don't know what it pays yet, Virginia.
I need to take a shower. Nope.
And it's haunted too.
That's great. I can visit. I don't have to stay.
I would have a ball doing that, staying out there.
Nope.
I don't know. You might like it.
This girl needs to take a shower every day.
Well, you got collect rainwater.
No.
Yeah, you got running rivers, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Nope.
you're running water out there.
Nope. You know how I feel about camping. Nope.
Yeah, I cannot get her to go camping for nothing.
Nope.
I talked to a lot of the moonshiners from Tennessee too, and they tell me some of their crazy stories in the backwoods at night, moonshining.
Oh, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff they hear and some of the screams.
Yep. Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
West Virginia's got the Screaming Woman of the Woods.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a movie based on that called The Hunted with Josh Stewart.
I've heard of the movie, but I haven't seen it.
He was out there. It happened to him when he was in college. He was out deer hunting, and he heard that woman screaming through the woods. So he decided to write a movie about it, where him and his buddy were filming a hunting video, and they got access to this new piece of property up in the woods, and they were warned not to go out there by the locals and stuff. Strange things started happening to them out there in the woods. They would hear this woman screaming early in the morning, being out there, and they go to look for it, can't find nothing. Well, later in the movie, they have their side-by-side parked, and they come back after hunting, and their side-by-side's ripped apart. So the next day, they go back up there. They decided to leave a game camera pointing at the side-by-side, filming video, and they come back again, and their side-by-side's ripped apart.
Wow.
Look at the video, and you can see things flying out of it, but they don't see the figure. And they can hear the screaming. So they go back out the next morning again. They go to their deer stand. Well, Josh hears something coming at him, and they think it's a deer. He gets out to go check the game camera. The game camera's off the tree. And his buddy's up in the deer stand filming, and you can hear the screaming coming through the woods towards them. They finally get up in the deer stand, and daylight comes. They get out, start looking for it. They can't find any foot tracks, nothing. End up finding a dead bobcat.
Oh, wow.
And the history of it is it was a girl that lived and a cabin there, and it was when they were doing logging back then, logging the woods of the farmlands and stuff. A bunch of lumberjacks broke in and they grabbed this girl and they took her back in the woods and they did some bad things to her and then they murdered her and left her back there.
Mm.
And they say that's her screaming through the woods because that's what she was doing when they were doing the bad things to her. She was screaming. The only thing they found of her was her skull.
Oh God.
I mean, like I said, I mean, it's everywhere. You just gotta find it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, history, it's amazing a lot of the historical places.
You know, that's one thing that I do love about investigating is learning about the history of the places, keeping the history alive.
Yep, and starting to see a lot more and more with investigators starting to help preserve a lot of these buildings, keep them from getting torn down.
I mean, they should. I mean, they're going away.
Yep.
In fact, we just had a new location open up here in Missouri, the Missouri State Sanatorium. Just opened up 2 investigations. And we've been trying to get in there for years, and there was a real estate company in Maryland that owned it.
Yeah. We can't.
Paranormal teams actually got it, and they ended up opening it up for tours and investigations now.
Yeah, we got a few places like that around here, right, Regina?
Yes. We do.
We
Got
started
one.
working on one, but it was too far gone. It was an old hotel that was historic.
We have an old prison here, and actually, I did have somebody go check it out to see if it was and safe enough to investigate. But about a year prior to that, it got hit by a tornado that come through Nashville, and it just exposed a lot of asbestos in the walls and everything else, and that shut that down real quick.
Oh yeah, they tend to do that. We had one here towards Kansas City that was happening. My friend Katie was trying to help preserve it because she's a preservationist and a historian, and she was trying to help preserve it, but it was loaded with asbestos,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So they ended up just wouldn't let them do anything more with it. I don't know whatever came about it, if they tore it down and got rid of it.
And that's something else people need to be mindful of is their own safety. You know,
Yep.
just environmental safety.
Yeah, these old buildings got lead paint, asbestos in them. You've got lead
Black
pipes,
mold.
mold. Yeah, black mold's the biggest, especially with a leaking roof.
Mm-hmm.
This hotel that we did also was bad. The roof was leaking and beams were falling down. It had mold and everything in it. And she had a group of kids break in there one night, and there was about 5 of them. And they started vandalizing the place. They took fire extinguishers, spraying them all over the place, smashing the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they got caught by the cops. The one kid didn't. He hid, and he had been coming in quite a bit, I guess. And we were there working on the roof, and this kid kept walking by, and I was talking to the owner, and I said, "How much you want to bet that's one of the kids that broke in here?" He's like, "How do you know?" I said, "He keeps pacing back and forth, and he keeps looking at us." Well, he finally comes back through, and he must have gained the courage, and he goes, "Which one of you is the owner?" And the lady goes, "I am." And he goes, "Well, I want to apologize. I'm one of the kids that been coming in here." And she asked him, she says, "How many times you been coming in here?" He says, "I've been in here about 10 or 12 times. And she says, "How are you getting in?" He says, "Through the back door. I've been squeezing past the plywood." And he says, "I brought a Ouija board in here and I was playing with it in the basement." I said, "You did what?" He says, "Yeah, I brought a Ouija board in here." I said, "Did you close it out?" "No, I didn't." I said, "You come with me." I took him in there. I said, "You see all this debris falling from the ceiling? You're sneaking in here. You're telling your parents you're at a friend's house, And meanwhile, you're trespassing into somebody's place. I said, she doesn't get in here all the time. Beam falls on you, you're going to lay in here dead for maybe weeks, even months.
Mm-hmm.
I said, people like you that don't ask permission ruin it for the rest of us that do ask.
Exactly. Exactly.
And he was only about 12 years old. And he ended up going home. I said, I want that Ouija board. He went home, got me that Ouija board. His mom didn't know about it. His mom come down with him
Cool.
to meet us because he got to tell him how we're related to Warrens and stuff. And I told his mom, I said, he's playing with a Ouija board. Keep an eye on him because he opened that door and he didn't close it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that place is haunted by the former owner and several people that had. They had a fireman fall to his death in there. It was that hotel's burned down like 3 times. It's been rebuilt, and there was a fireman battling. He was up on the roof battling the top floor, and he got overcame with smoke, and he thought he was jumping down to the next roof while he went through the skylight.
Oh gosh.
And a piece of glass come down and pierced right through his coat and right through his heart.
Mm.
It's terrible.
Yeah, that place has mob ties. The one owner, he had a speakeasy in the basement. He was bootlegging liquor from his liquor store to the basement through underground tunnels that he dug. And we found his moonshine stash. I do have a video on my TikTok in that hotel where you'll see the metal toolbox lid lift up. That's in that hotel. I was back in the library. My other 2 members were up front. I went towards the back. You hear this metallic bang, and all of a sudden, you hear me react to it, and I go over and I find what made the sound and recreate it. It was a metal toolbox lid just lifted up and slammed down with force.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's whenever I'm not back out.
My dad had an experience too. He was watching cameras, and I said to him, I walk in there, and I mean, it was 100 degrees out. And I walked in there, and you could see your breath. He's freezing. So something was around him messing with him because he's got abilities from a near-death experience. And I ended up telling it to get away from him. It didn't have permission. We had to get him warmed up. Another night we were there. My dad, me, and 2 members decided to go up there and investigate. It was about 9 o'clock, standing there talking to the owner. My dad rings this bell that was part of the hotel, and all of a sudden a big white glow goes around him. And never seen it before. This was the first time we've ever seen it. Couldn't explain it. And that was the same night I had that toolbox lid.
Was it like aura or just the glow?
It was like an aura just went right around him. And it happened to him at Missouri State also. He was working with a girl that had POTS disease. And she was severely drained from all the energy with the Warrens Occult Museum being there, and then the energy in the prison in general, and she was going in shock. They thought they were going to have to call the ambulance for her, so they brought her to the lobby. My dad says, leave her here with me, and he put some holy water on his hands. She held his hands, and he did some work with her, and gave her a cleansing medallion, and she snapped right out of it and was back to normal, and everybody seen that white glow again go around him. And you never explain it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Russell, I'm gonna have to cut it short here. I've got to be up early in the morning tomorrow to do some things. So
yeah, we're gonna get ready to wrap up. If people want to get a hold of you guys, how can they follow you and any events you guys are doing? And
yeah, all of our social media is under PPF Investigations, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. We have a website if you just Google PPF Investigations. So you can reach us there. And again, we encourage and hope that you guys will watch our pilot episode of The Others with an S apostrophe side pilot that's on Prime and Paraflix. Lee?
So basically, I'm only on Facebook as of right now. Like I said, I'm just coming back after a year being off. Medics 4, the number 4, Paranormal. Look me up, give me a follow, send a message, say hi, say you saw us on Russell's show. Look forward to hearing from you guys. And Russell, thank you again.
Oh,
Yes.
you're welcome. Anytime you guys want to do a part 2, I'm game.
Yeah, same here.
Sure.
And we need to, if you ever come to Tennessee to investigate, you need to let us know.
Yeah.
It's on our list for next year.
Cool.
We're talking about going to Smoky Mountain Terror next year and Year of Shrine. So,
Yeah, 100%.
and yeah, if you guys are free, come up to Rock Island Paracon.
All right, well, look at that.
Yeah, it's October 4th.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Only like $5 admission to get in. So
All right, that sounds good.
we'll be up there, and if you want to see Annabelle will be there, but that's a separate admission to get into
Right,
the
of
Warren
course.
Museum.
Yeah.
But Ryan Buell will be there from Paranormal State. A lot of the Paraflix will also be there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sounds good.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming on,
Of
and
course, thank you for having us.
definitely keep in touch and touch with you guys when we're out on the road out that way. You never know where we're gonna be. We're demanded every place. So.
Yeah, if we end up back in Missouri, we'll definitely holler at you as well.
Yeah, definitely. If you guys come back to Missouri State, let us know.
I'd like to do that.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right,
Thanks.
sounds good.
I'll show you some of our hot spots where we've captured quite a bit.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. I'm gonna put you guys backstage and close the show out.
All right. Thanks
minutes.
again. And
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight, and we had some great guests here. Hope you guys enjoyed the show and found a lot of information, a lot of knowledge. Like I say every week, remember, if you're being bullied in the paranormal field, you do have a voice. Feel free to reach out to us. We will listen. No judgment here. And everybody stay safe out there. Stay humble. God bless. And we will see you all next week. Same time, same channel. Hope you guys go out and see the new Conjuring movie. Enjoy that. That's the last movie coming out. So, and enjoy that new movie. I heard it's pretty good. We haven't seen it yet. So we will see you next week.